think most of us, Paula just magically appeared out of nowhere.
I'm back upstairs.
She came in from her live shot with the horses outside. So I think most of us would assume that if we're hurt in a car accident, we'd get help from our insurance company or the other driver's insurance.
Yeah, it seems like a no-brainer, but you may be able to tap into multiple resources and get more coverage. Colorado's best attorney, Phil Harding, explains this in today's Legal Minute.
If you are injured in a car accident, did you know that there are multiple levels of insurance you can recover from? The first and most obvious is the person who was driving's insurance. But what if he was driving a friend's car? There may be more insurance that is there. But don't just stop at that. Unless you signed a waiver when you got your own car insurance, you have insurance that's called uninsured, underinsured coverage. When you look at your insurance coverage documents, they may refer to it as a UM/UIM. You can also stack this UM/UIM on top of the other coverage. But let's not stop there. What about your medical bills? Again, unless you signed a waiver, you have medical coverage through your auto insurance. Finally, don't forget, if you have medical bills that were paid for by Medicaid, Medicare, or health insurance, or the like, you need to pay back those medical costs to the insurance company. This is called subrogation. Contact an attorney to make sure that not only are you collecting from all available insurance coverages, but also that you pay back any subrogation that's required. For Colorado's Best Legal Minute, I'm Phil Harding.
And if you have any legal questions for Phil, he wants to hear from you. Just log on to coloradosbest.tv and look for his photo there. Click on it. You could submit your own legal questions, and he takes the time to answer them all personally. He might even address your question right here on Colorado's Best.
We are already.
We're with John Kelly. John Kelly is a personal injury attorney in Phoenix, Arizona. He's agreed to answer some questions related to car accidents. Also, if you have a question, you can just post it in the comment section below and he'll get back to you. With that said, let's go into our first question. The first question that was posted is, how long does it take to get paid?
Okay, a very common question, and you know, when you're injured by another party, it only seems fair that you would get compensated promptly. Unfortunately, there's some things that kind of prevent that from happening. Namely, the insurance companies are notorious for trying to withhold their money to pay out. So what you really need is an aggressive attorney, someone who's going to actually call these insurance companies, hold them to their standards, make them evaluate your case, review the records, and make a reasonable offer and settlement within a reasonable time. And at my firm, I do that. I'm very aggressive with my cases. I call the insurance companies, make sure they're doing those things, and typically after I make a demand, we get the settlement pretty quickly. It's usually within 30 days of making the demand, so that's kind of a typical time.
Okay. Next question was, if I work with your firm, will I work with you or with another attorney?
Yes, I actually handle every case that I take personally. So I don't hand off the case to an inexperienced attorney or paralegal like a lot of firms do. There's a lot of law firms out there, unfortunately, that have kind of a turn and burn mentality where they take on as many cases as they can. They hire inexperienced staff, and they don't get the personal attention that they do at my law firm. When you call my office, you're going to get me, or you'll get my paralegal, Gary, who has 20 years experience doing personal injury work. And I evaluate the case on a case-by-case basis. I talk to my clients. I keep them updated. I staff the case with my paralegal, and I'm available by phone to my clients, which is a huge benefit to them because they don't feel like they're left out of the process, like they can't understand what's going on in their case. And I get a lot of clients that call me and they're frustrated that their attorney hasn't told them what they're doing on the case, and I just don't get that on my cases.
Okay. All right. The next question we have is, what will you do to ensure that I get compensated as much as possible for my car accident?
Well, that's a very good question. You need to have an attorney that's going to help you build your case. So that means collecting the evidence with you. So, you know, sending in the photographs to the insurance company, getting the right police reports, requesting all the medical records, ensuring that you're getting the treatment that you need to get better, and aggressively pursuing the insurance companies to make sure that they're playing fair. We have a wealth of experience in my firm in doing this, dealing with the different insurance companies, making sure that we're sending the right letters, the right demands, making the right phone calls, and doing these all at the right time to ensure that our clients are getting every dollar that we can for the claim.
All right. Next question we have is do you ever take car accident cases to trial, or are they all settled?
They're not all settled, but most of them do settle. The reality is that trial is time-consuming, it's costly, it's risky, and most clients don't want to go through that process because it takes a long time to get to trial. It costs more money. It's stressful in a time that they're already stressed. So if we can make the insurance companies play fair and make a good offer for settlement, we want to go ahead and take that settlement because we're saving our clients a lot of headaches. And so the number is over 95% of our cases actually do not go to trial. It's a bit benefit to the client. Now, if we do go up against an insurance company that's playing unfair, we do take those cases to trial, and we have you have an attorney that has the trial experience to take those cases to trial. You know, I've done over 20 jury trials, and I've taken these cases to trial, and we can ensure that if that's the case, we'll do that.
Okay. And the final question we had is, will I be charged for someone to review my case?
Well, people are typically pretty nervous about this when they call in. They don't know how attorneys get paid. They worry that just by calling they may be charged something. The reality is that at my law firm, I'm always going to take the time to evaluate a case. I'm going to sit down with my client. If they want to do it over the phone, they can. They can come into my office for a free consultation. They can bring some documents with them, and I'll take a look at them and determine for them what their best method is moving forward. If it's found out that, you know, it's a good idea to retain counsel, I'll let them know that, you know, I'd be willing to take their case. At that point, we can, you know, put the agreement down in writing. The good news is that I typically do a contingency fee, so the clients still don't pay anything until the actual settlement or award is made. So they don't owe their attorney anything until they actually get the money that compensates them.
Okay, excellent. Well, if you have any additional questions for John, all you need to do is post them in the comments section below. He's agreed to get back to you with answers to those comments. Also, obviously, you can reach out to his office. John, what's the phone number over there?
602-283-4122.
All right. Well, thanks for your time, John.
Thank you, Ryan.